First of all, thank you very much. This is more a share of thoughts about the luxury brands, the experience that I have in the luxury brands. Of course, more in the car business, in the car with luxury car brands. But I think it's important, and for that, it's important to understand the view and the DNA of the luxury brands, and then what happened in the 2008 crisis and what is happening now. Because in my point of view, and for many other people, it's completely different. Okay, so just a quick overview of the luxury brands. Mainly in the car business, the luxury brands, they were a family business. Okay, they started with some families, with some amazing guys that started with new and completely innovative products, for Aston Martin, for Bentley, for Ferrari, Lamborghini, etc. And so they have their own DNA that all over the years, during 100 years or more, they passed by all the generations and to the workers, and they had their own factories in the main cities when it started. And the DNA is very important. It's a culture that, and when you go to the, for example, Lamborghini factory in Sant'Agata Bolognese, you talk with an employee that is working for Lamborghini for 30 years, and he just loves it. It's something that he really, it's like a club, okay, to work for Lamborghini. And if you go to Gaydon, to Aston Martin, it's the same. If you go to Crew, to Bentley, it's completely the same, and of course Ferrari. So luxury brands started from a family business, then with financial support, of course. They started to be globally, okay, and this is very important because it makes the difference of how people think about this brand. So until 2008 crisis, more or less, and of course this is not a fixed year, but more or less it happened that there was only one direction communication from brands to the customers. Okay, it was to be an icon. It was trendy. It was a status. It was the possibility to access. It represents all these strategic vectors, ideas. Sorry. I wanted to show you this Aston Martin video of 100 years of power, beauty, and soul, because it really represents that. They sell 007. They used to sell the races and all of that things. But it was customers that brands made the rules, more or less, and the customers used to should buy it. Okay, it didn't matter what customers wanted. It was what brands represented. After 2008 crisis, it was a financial crisis, and it changed completely in this brands, in this luxury brands sector. Okay, because they needed to start understanding what customers wanted. So the communication, it started to be the opposite. Customers started to tell the brand what they wanted. Okay, that's why you have in some luxury brands, for example, the diesel engines, which was completely impossible at that time. The brand started with a small digitalization, and here this is an important point, because for luxury brands, digitalization, it was always the luxury market always resisted to the digital transformation, because there was that way of view that if you want to buy a luxury good, you can't buy it online. You have to see it, you have to choose everything and all that. So brands started with a small digitalization, with a CRM. How could they find new customers? Because after 2008, the customers disappeared because it was a financial crisis. So suddenly the customers disappeared, okay, because they couldn't show the money if they have it. Others they started to just they lost everything. So it was completely different from now, okay. And products were started to be associated with services. Okay, you didn't buy only a car. You want a car, and then after sales plan, and a pickup and delivery car, and all that, and crossing selling between brands with affinity marketing. Okay, there's a good example outside the brands, the car business, which is Farfetch. In the luxury segment, which is in the luxury market, because after 2008, with these new apps and all that, because luxury brands didn't sell directly to the customers online in a proper way, it appeared, for example, you have the example of Farfetch that started to sell luxury brands, okay, in clothes sector, but it was an opportunity for them, and they are doing very well, as you know. Now, digital transformation is the new normal. This is very important. It starts to be and the luxury brands, they need to change the mindset. It's not that they weren't thinking about that before this crisis, before this pandemic, but now they need to change. They need, and even when you go to a configurator, a car configurator online, you can see that, okay, now you can already choose the colors and all that, the interior, and you can see it, but you don't feel the car that you're buying. You don't feel the product. It's still very slow, everything, and you don't touch the feeling of the product. And from now on, all that is going to change. You're going to, of course, the 5G internet is going to be very important in this area also, but all the configurators, all the marketing, digital marketing, all when you go to a website of a luxury brand, you need to feel comfortable to buy it online, and that's not happening now. Okay, but it's going to happen, and the brands are going to change. So the e-commerce is going to grow, of course, more communication. There's a very important customer relationship and social responsibility. What does this mean? It means that during the COVID, during this crisis, for maybe in 2020, all over 2020, the customers need to invest a lot in customers relationship and social responsibility, because this is going to make the difference after the crisis pass, after COVID. Okay, we never thought like this. We thought, and the brands always thought like this, okay, I need to show a little bit that I'm social responsible, and I care with my customers and all that. But now this is very important. It's a bit of a lighthouse perspective. It's your customers are going to need your brand as a lighthouse perspective, as the lighthouse during this crisis. Because after the crisis, after COVID, they are going to remember that you always looked after them. Okay, and I can give you an example of what we've done here. We started in 1st of April working, not because we were receiving cars and we were having a lot of business, no, but only with contacts with our customers, starting to order some parts that we needed to work in a car's customer, that we knew that it was going to take some time to receive the parts. So we started to order the parts, so that now we are already working with a lot of customers, and now we are having business. 1 month later, people are coming to us. Okay, and that is very, very, very important. So after the crisis, customers are going to choose the brands that kept an eye in the customers and had an empathic mission during the crisis. That's what I was saying. All the brands, and it's a shame that I can't show you even here these videos, because what is showing, what they show is that, for example, a video of Bentley with a sanitation video cleaning all the car. The communication of Bentley, we never thought about this in the past. It's showing the customers that they care about the car, and they clean all the car before they start working in the car. Before all this crisis, this was something that was already in our mind. Okay, this Bentley should be all the careful with my car when I go there. But now they need to communicate this. Okay, the other one in LinkedIn is Lamborghini, that is doing masks and ventilators. Okay, this wasn't normal before this crisis. Now they need to communicate this. Why? Because after COVID, customers are going to choose the brands, and in the luxury market also, or mainly, the brands that took care of them, that gave them the right importance. Okay, digitalization means to know and to choose in real time what customers want and give a proper answer. Now the communication, it's in two different ways. It's from brands to customer for brands, because it has to be online. Now the apps, the digitalization means that a customer needs to choose everything online and can communicate with the brand immediately, on time. Okay, it's not like in 2008 that was only, okay, you can choose a car or configure a car online. Now you need a communication, an online communication. Okay, you need to feel an environment. When you choose a brand, a luxury brand, you choose not only the product, but you choose the culture. You choose the environment. You choose the relationship. Okay. So the difference here is that from now on, a normal dealer in a city, it's not only to buy a product. If you want to buy a product, you buy online, and it's going to happen also in luxury brands. From now on, when you go to a dealer, you buy a product, you buy an environment, you buy even the speech of the salesman. It's going to be different. The speech of the salesman, it's going to tell a story. It's going to involve, to get the customer involved. Okay, it's a new way of thinking, and the culture, even the culture of the brands need to be changed. Okay, because so that the salesman can pass that message to the customer. Okay, they go to a lounge, they go they will feel the environment of the brand. Okay, not only that product. but everything around. So mainly, it's what I feel is that, and to conclude, as a conclusion, it's very important a strategic guidance, of course, during this pandemic and afterwards, a strategic guidance, a clear innovation that defines what you want. Okay, in this landscape and in this business landscape. The luxury brands need to resource some allocation, needs to have some allocate some resources to create innovations. They can't say, okay, this is what it is, and we have to, and we don't care about what is going to be onwards. No, they are now already working in innovation, in new apps to deliver the products and to deliver the services to the customers. And of course, new portfolio management because you have to run your business, your core business, in a good way. For example, one of the things that there are some brands already working, and they don't need to be the luxury brands, but it's that you can already buy some cars and receive it at your place, and do it everything online. This was something that wasn't happening before, and in 2 months some brands started this. They were thinking already in this, but they started in 2 months, and they worked in an application and in an online website to be so that this is possible, to buy a car, receive a car in your place, pay the car, and you don't have to do anything, and you don't see the car, you just receive it. Okay. Well, I hope it's. I think maybe it was a bit confused, but I hope you understand a little bit what I meant from the difference between 2008 crisis and now this crisis, and what is going to happen. Mainly the digitalization. It's the new normal, and that is the most important information from all of this. And even for the luxury brands that already had always resisted to digital transformation, now they are going to change for sure. Okay. Thank you very much for your. And I'm sorry for the videos. It's a shame. I really like.
Yeah. No problem. I'm sure we can.
Send us the link. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. We can watch them later. But yeah. Actually, yeah. Thank you very much, Jean.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that I actually read an article from a webinar that the IMD Business School did recently, and they identified 5 key trends in the luxury market, which you identified. You know, the digitization is of course very important, and also the break of the supply chain that Fatima and Luis and Pedro mentioned at the webinar last time. But also something that you said about, you know, the sales your sales guy will have to change the message. And one of the trends that they identified was that customer will focus on meaningful luxury products, and the luxury brand will have to focus on experiences, storytelling around values, which is what you mentioned, heritage and authenticities. That's what they identified to remain relevant, and I think that's going to be one of the key aspects which you spoke about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's before this crisis, there were already some brands that were doing in the center of the cities a kind of a lounge to the customers instead of a normal dealer with stock and with all the cars and everything. and now that is going to be much, even you're going to have that lounge places, but even more, because it's the tellings, it's the storytelling, and it's the experience, and of course the salesman. They are going to have a main. I think they are going to, and they are going to have a main role here, because if people want only something online, they can have it, they can buy it. So that is easy, and that is going to happen. But people need to have relationship anyway. They need to have to meet people, and to that's impossible to break. And if you want a relation with a brand, of course, you need to speak with the salesman anyway. So the lounge or the stores in the cities are going to be for that, are going to give a meaningful for what you're buying, which makes completely different the difference here. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can send you the videos for you to see. Okay.
Yeah, we'll watch them. And how long time have you had your office in the Algarve, Jean? Because I know you started in Lisbon, but and do you do different services in both offices, or is it the same?
Yeah, we started 6 months ago, more or less, but we already have the in Lisbon for a couple of years with these luxury cars, and now we started 6 months ago mainly for services. And it's what I was saying is that it was much easier for us just to sell cars, but we don't want that. We want to keep the relation with the customers with services. And so we started this special workshop for the special cars, so that we can keep the relation with the customers. We can develop the relation with them, and sometimes we have customers that come here only to drink a coffee, for example, and to have a chat. They don't need nothing in the car, because if you think about your experience with the workshops and everything, it's not, you never go there just to drink a coffee. You go because you have a problem with your car, and we want to change that. We want to give the right importance, of course, to the car, but to the customer also. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a network. In the end, this is a network,
Sure.
of course. Even with the events, with the connecting people and all that. Not at the same level as yours, but it's the hook is it's the car. But what is important is the relation between people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else has some questions?
Hi, João, Sharon here.
Hi, Sharon.
I think it's really interesting how the luxury brands have embraced this moment and how quickly they've responded, because I've been looking at other industries and it's amazing how the mindset that people had before COVID, they resisted certain ways of doing business. For example, in business colleges or universities, you know, there was the attitude was, no, we can't go online. People have to come into the universities. And, you know, even with schools, with even, you know, with what we're doing here today, is how quickly that people have adopted. And I think there's a lot of learning, not just, you know, looking at, you know, how you've explained and highlighted what the luxury brands are doing, that we can also learn from that. Particularly, you know, when you mentioned the lighthouse, it really for me, what we're doing here today, what the network is doing, is that idea of looking out for people in the moment of crisis where there isn't very much happening, but you can still give the message, we're here for you. And I think that's really useful, not just for the luxury brand or for the network, but for all of our businesses.
Yeah, yeah, it's very important. The question of the lighthouse perspective. It's from I read this from a friend of mine, Goran, and I really felt interesting because in the end, like you said, it's not only for the luxury brands. Each sector and each business communicate what they feel that it's more important for their customers, of course. But it will make the difference after this. Definitely, you're not going to remember after this. You're not going to remember the brand that you see every day when you go out of your house and you see an outdoor and all that. Just giving you the brand or the new product. You don't remember. You will not remember that. You're going to remember the brand that communicates with you, looking after you, taking care of the community. All of that things that are important now, and like you said, you gave the example of the universities. Mm-hmm. And the luxury brands, definitely they had that problem. They thought until now that it was impossible to sell luxury products online. Okay, that when we say sell online, of course it's the complete cycle of selling. You could have the configuration of the product, but then you had to go to a dealer to buy it and to see the product and all that. That is going to finish in some time. And luxury brands, they are putting a lot of effort now because they learned, I think, if you want to buy a product, you can buy it online like a normal product. But of course, the website and the tools will be completely different. Maybe you will you can configure your product, but you can touch the product somehow. You virtual product 3D. I don't know. It's going to happen something that you will feel comfortable to put your credit card online and buy 200,000 euros car. It must happen. But then, okay, anyway, you have your dealer where you feel the environment and the experience of the brand. But to buy online, it's going to be possible. It's the same as the universities. Everybody thought, no, it's not possible to have a classroom online. Well, even with my child, with the 6 years old child, he's having classrooms online and he doesn't know how to read, and he's having so it's possible. If we want, it's possible. And the luxury brands, they are going to change for sure. Okay, something that was not they were not thinking about it until now.
But do you think the change will happen? You know, what do you experience at the moment?
We have some numbers, some figures. For example, from the Chinese luxury market with the restarted before the European one, and what is happening now, it's a kind of let's say around 50% that recovered. So what they are seeing is that it's a step by step, okay, because it needs some changes. It's going to be a step by step. There's not a lack there. Like I said, it's not like 2008 that there's no customers. Now the customers, they are somewhere, or they know where is the customers, some of them, but they need to to give them the confidence to spend money in their products. And with that, the new technologies and all that, it will take some time. So I would say that it's going to take at least, like everybody's saying, at least until the next year, 2021.
Yeah.
But it's a step by step, because it's not only a question of now you can come to our stores and buy it again. No, it's more than that.
Yeah.
It's to work in the new technologies, websites, communication, confidence. So
yeah.
The 5G internet, it will make the difference. So all that.
But and in your business, I mean, what's the share or the splits between you know, selling cars and the maintenance, the service to the cars? Because I imagine, well, I don't know, maybe people are going to, I don't know. I mean, what's your split?
In my business, the maintenance, it has to continue. It's something that people need it. So
yeah.
It's going to keep going on, but people need that we look after them, definitely. So if we look after them, if we have a good clear communication with them, that is going to continue. Selling cars, it stopped. And that it's not it's something that we need to wait at least for the next month to feel what is going to happen and what do we need to do. Of course, besides keeping the communication with the customer, so that they will decide even some things that were already decided. They stopped, and now they will keep on going next month. I think next 2 months, something like that. We will have more contacts.
All right. Fatima? Oh. No question, Fatima? Oh, you have to go.
Yes.
You have to go.
No. I have a question, because as you know, luxury is also luxury. In light of COVID or not COVID, when you have someone that is buying a car.
Sorry, I'm listening.
We cannot hear you very well.
The connection.
No, sorry, connection is bad. Sorry. I was telling, when you have luxury brands like yours, the customers want personalization. They can do it online, of course. Like a great car, a great luxury brand. So I think it's the blend. I think we'll continue to have those customers that want to buy a luxury car. I think they will want also the experience of nourished like they like, because they want to buy and they want to have the best client relation with product, and we're selling it. Don't you think so? You can order online, but I think they need to touch to have the experience of the luxury, because it's not like Amazon. We buy a book, different. It's luxury, and it has its all aspects. Don't you think so?
Yes, and that's the perspective of the luxury brands until now. And of course, it's going to exist, and it's going to we are going to have that perspective, and or part of it. That definitely, yes. But there's a step forward that needs to be taken. And what we felt that was impossible, okay, that people need to touch the product, to have to speak with someone, to decide and all that. it's we need to go to have a step forward. We need to think in a different way, and at least part of the process. And people will need to buy online a product. Are going they can buy online. They are going to buy online a product, which it's something now that it's not that common in the luxury brands. It should be more. Okay, and so the technology, it's going to need to have some changes. But then when they go to a store to feel that environment, to feel that experience and that relationship and all that, don't forget that what they used to feel before this COVID was different in a store than they will feel after this. When they go to even for us, when we go to a restaurant from now on, maybe it will be a bit different than it was before. And the restaurants need to change something. And for us, a restaurant, it's something that you go there to eat, point, to feel the environment and to eat and the good food and all that. The luxury customer will go to the store, but he needs a story. He needs the environment. He needs to feel his needs as a person. When he goes to, he needs to feel the DNA of the brand, and that even with technology inside the stores, it needs to make the difference. It needs to be different. You know, the speech of the salesman, definitely it's going to be different. It's not only to know that a car has these horses, power horses, and this and that, and the specification of the car. No, that he will see online or in a big screen when he goes inside the store. You know, he touch and he will have all that. That is completely different. It's not inside the mind of the salesman. The salesman needs to tell the story of the brand, of what means to have that car, the colors of the car, and all that. So I think it's a balance between, and that's why I said it's a step by step, but it's going to change. One thing is to buy online. It's going to be much better experience from now on, that's for sure. And then another thing is to go to a store and to feel something different when you go to a store, not just to spend money. Okay.
Be more conscious, the customer and the seller, because it's the new world. It's a new norm and a new way of doing business, isn't it? Buying a car or buying anything.
And just to give you an example about us, I have an English customer that he has an Aston Martin, an MGA, he has a Porsche, and a local dealer, okay, and he didn't like the way he was treated for after sales, and he came to us for the first time, and then it's already the second time that he comes now with the other car. And he said to me, and I have his message saying this: João, I'm quite sure that you're going to be successful because you look after people. Your company looks after people. Really, he wrote this. And most of the workshops that I know, the official dealers, they don't care about people. And probably I couldn't compete with an official dealer of a luxury brand. It should be impossible, almost, because I'm not I don't have the same money as them and everything, you know, that the brands, the standards of the brands and all that. It's all about it's about us, me the people that work with me, and the attention that they give to the customer, to each customer, and the story that we tell, and then the everything that we speak with the customer. And I think that's the same when the luxury customers are going to buy a luxury car or a luxury wallet or something. It's not only the wallet, it's it's what it means. It's a fantasy. We need more fantasies after all of this.
Definitely. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Really enjoyed it. So
Thank you very much.
Unless anybody wants to add something. Okay. If you send me the link, I can then share it with everybody for the videos.
Okay. I will send you the link.
I'll share the presentation and video recording as I always do, and I'll add the links to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Hope
to see you. Hope to see you at the member meet member on Thursday. 4 o'clock. It's 4 in the afternoon this time. Yeah.
Are you buying, Arnold?
Am I buying what?
Are you buying the drinks on Thursday?
I'll bring the drinks.
Great. Good then. Thanks very much.
I'll drink for you here. I have all the bottles in front of me.
You know the best joke of 2020? It starts with a man walks into a bar and it stops there.
Never comes back.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you very much. Okay,
holiday. See you on Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Ciao.
Bye.